Scott Bywood here, and I want to tell you, you can still dunk in the dark. Now, if you're wondering what I'm talking about what Oreo cookies did at a Super Bowl when the lights went out. And it was the most popular, they sent a tweet which said you can still dunk in the dark. And it was the most popular tweet of the actual Super Bowl. Now, it's a very good example of newsjacking, jumping in and seeing the opportunity and going in there and getting it. But what it's even a bigger example is, because believe it or not, it wasn't seen by that many people. It wasn't initially as big a deal as you might think it was. In fact, only 35,000 people saw that tweet. Not bad, but it's only 3/100ths of a percent of the amount of people who are watching it. So it wasn't that big, but what was amazing, and the reason Oreo went on to win the Clio awards and all of that sort of thing, was what they did afterwards. And this is something we can all apply in our marketing and in our business. What they did afterwards is they sent the story off, and they sent it off to one publication, and it got taken off. And then they sent it off to another, and then they used the traction and the momentum to send it off to the next and the next and the next and the next. And this is something we want to be thinking about from a marketing perspective. How do we actually use momentum in our business? So for example, let's say you've got an email list and you've got a couple of thousand people, and there's someone else you trust and they've got a couple of thousand people on their email list. You can do a cross email, and because you've both got you've built the momentum up, you can then use that to get another few hundred people. And then you could go to someone else. And obviously, if you're doing it in integrity and you believe in your partners, that's a really good way to grow and build your momentum. And that's just the beginning. Then what about your Instagram following? What about doing a cross promotion there, where you promote someone else? Hey, go and follow their feed. They say go and follow your feed, to build your Instagram list and use the momentum that you've already built. Is a very effective way of doing things. There's a lot of people, there's a number of people doing that out there at the moment. So really think about the momentum. The other thing is, you might have a piece of content that's going really well that went really well on a social post like this one. Why not then take that piece of content and put it on Facebook as a paid ad? So you're taking the momentum that you've generated about a particular topic, use it as a paid ad, retarget those people who then engage with that ad and feed them into your funnel, because you know that it's actually worked. So the question I want to leave you with, just to think about, is how can you take what you've already got working and really build the momentum. I remember reading a Donald Trump book years ago, and he talked to someone who was a very successful entrepreneur, but he'd fallen back onto hard times, and Donald said to him, "What happened?" And he said, "I lost my momentum." So what I would encourage you to do is think about, where do you have momentum right now, and how can you leverage that momentum, just like Oreo did, to be one of the most well-known Twitter campaigns of all time. Thanks for tuning in today. If you've got any questions about what I've shared, please leave it below. And if you'd like me to share anything else, please let me know in the comments box below.